Bement Goes to War. Edgar Camp came to Bement in 1855 along with his two brothers. As one of the earliest settlers, he assisted in building the first houses. The Camp boys were joined by another brother in 1858. When Civil War broke out, Edgar, James, and William volunteered. Edgar enlisted in August 1862 as a member of Company H, 107th Regiment, Illinois Volunteers Infantry, which was mustered into the United States service at Camp Butler, Illinois. Edgar was promoted to first lieutenant, then captain in February 1863. Copies of ordinances issued by Camp are shown here. While on the skirmish line near Kennesaw Mountain, he fell mortally wounded on June 16, 1864. James and William survived. Bement was young at the beginning of the Civil War. It was incorporated as a village in 1860, and the first states succeeded in February 1861. War started in April. The state of Illinois was unprepared when Governor Richard Yates received this message. Washington, April 15, 1861. His Excellency Richard Yates. Call made on you by tonight's mail for 6 regiments of militia for immediate service. Simon Cameron, Secretary of War. There were no available efficient armed or organized militia companies in the state. Within 5 days, volunteers in excess of Illinois' quota had reported for service. A week later, in a letter from Bement dated April 23rd, Dr. Elam Bodmin, who later volunteered his own services, wrote, "We are surely in critical and trying times. The great trial of our beloved country is surely at hand. May God give us a happy deliverance. There is terrible excitement here. Volunteers are turning out freely. Response throughout Piatt County was overwhelming. Based on the 1860 census, Illinois sent 100 volunteers for each 742 inhabitants, while Piatt County had 100 men for each 580 citizens. Bement Township did even better by sending 100 soldiers for each 465 people. The Civil War proved a great burden to many Illinois families. Over 60% of Bement Township volunteers were from the farm. Those left behind were hard-pressed to get the work done. The need for food for civilians and soldiers was great. As a matter of survival, women and children took to the fields to maintain family farms. Women without farm responsibilities found new opportunities. The enlistment of store clerks and others proved openings for educated women. Many participated in military assistance through sewing bees, food drives, and medical collections. Women like Mrs. Sarah Bryant often took the lead and organized voluntary associations in order to provide for those left without support. Events were organized to raise funds for relief. Women worked in church groups as well as these new organizations to establish charitable societies to provide for one another.